Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? The video you are about to watch was recorded before we started the Kickstarter. And I just kind of wanted to let you know about that because we actually just hit 10,000 on the Kickstarter, which is amazing. That's 50% done. There's still quite a bit of time to go. But that also means we still have 50% to go. And as a result, I would like to encourage all of you that if you like this video and if you like what you're seeing, you go and contribute to the Kickstarter. Because what you're gonna see, what this video is kind of, well, it's the game. That's my new game. It's Sweet Dreams Alex. It's my new game, right? And it's just how the game will be, how you can expect to play it, what you can expect from it. And so I hope you enjoy it. That's pretty much it. And again, please go contribute to the Kickstarter. I would also very much appreciate that. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm Philip. I'm the designer for Sweet Dreams Alex. And today, I put on my pajamas, I have my blanket, and we have nice sleepy time lo-fi music playing in the background. We are going to be playing a little Sweet Dreams Alex campaign that I made specifically for this Kickstarter. So, let's have a look. So you can see here, this is our mini campaign. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and so on. There's 8 levels in total, and we have chat here. Chat is going to be solving these levels for us. Now, of course, I can't really solve them myself because, you know, I made them. Like, that obviously doesn't really work so well. But, you know, I wanted to show you how the game actually works because I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a cute little thing. And so let's tackle this right now. Of course, if you can, I would really appreciate it if you could support Sweet Dreams Alex on Kickstarter. Right? We only have 3 different reward tiers available. We kept it really nice and simple. So, you know, just pick whichever one is appropriate for you and help us out a bit so we can make this happen, right? It's just a cute little game and I think it's a lot of fun. So, let's have a look then. We're going to start out with mini campaign level 1. Each of these levels is kind of designed to teach you something about the game. And I will always be explaining things as we go along as well. Keep in mind, this is all still very much like an alpha. Like, it's very early on, right? So the game is playable, but it's, you know, so please forgive us if it's a little bit quirky. Alright then. Oh, and we don't have any sound effects yet. That's why I'm playing music. But this is also the kind of music that we want to have in the final product. We wanted to have this like nice, calm, relaxing, chill, nighttime atmosphere. So let's get into it. Now this is our first level. This first level is just here to introduce you guys to the concept. To be honest, I'm just gonna play the level for you. You guys don't have to do anything here yet because this is all very straightforward, very simple. In the top right corner, we've got a timer of 60 seconds. You can see here that nightmares can spawn from these nightmare portals, right? So there's a nightmare and it comes out of the portal. And it starts walking towards Alex. Alex is currently asleep and just chilling. If the nightmare reaches Alex, then you lose the level. By the way, you can speed up how fast the nightmares go, but, you know, that doesn't have any impact on the timer. Anyway, so now you can see we lost the level. It's not great. We don't want Alex to have nightmares. That's all that happens. If the nightmare reaches Alex, then she has a nightmare. We don't want that. We want to avoid that, if at all possible. So how do we do that? Well, not by doing that. How do we do that? We build a maze. For this maze, we have a bunch of tools available. Now, these tools will vary from level to level. For this particular level, we just have walls, but we have an infinite amount of walls. So, for example, what we can do is we can build something like this. If we now let the nightmare walk, you can see the nightmare will walk up here instead, and then will take much longer to actually get to Alex. This is still not enough time, but hey, it gets us closer, right? Now, I want to be very clear about one thing. This is not allowed. So right now, if we spawn the nightmare, you can see it's trapped, can't move. If it can't move, this timer will play. And if it, you know, if it's trapped for too long, then you fail the level. The nightmares do still have to be able to move. If they are completely trapped, then that's also a failure. All right then. Chat. If you have any ideas for what kind of labyrinth you would like me to build, then, you know, maybe feel free to throw those at me. But I can just show you some very simple ones. So for example, something you can do is of course something like this. This is all very nice, very straightforward, right? Just up and down. this is pretty much the most simple labyrinth, the most simple maze that you can build. It just goes up and down and up and down, but it's very effective. It makes it so that the monster actually takes a while to get all the way through it, and then soon you will see that actually, yes, we managed to keep the nightmare away from Alex for the entire night. Very good. Of course, there are lots of different styles of labyrinth that you can build. It doesn't have to just be the simple up and down. Alright, so for example, something that we could do that I think is a little bit fancier is something like this, where you can build a little, a little spiral. This always looks kind of cool. And it's also fairly effective. One of the nice things about the spirals is that it actually uses less walls than the up and down maze. Up and down maze, as much as it's simple and straightforward, is actually not very cost effective. And that is something that we will have to consider in the later levels. And here we go, see. Very good. So this is our first level. Well, let's get ourselves into level number 2. This one is a bit trickier. So as you can see here, first of all, we have 2 nightmares. One spawns at the top and one spawns at the bottom. Alex is right here, and then we have these gaps in the map. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you block something off completely, if you block things off completely like this, then the nightmares, they can't walk anymore. And that means that you also lose the level. You can't build on the gaps, but also the nightmares can't walk on the gaps. They can only walk in the dreamscape here. Alright then. Chat. Do you guys have any ideas, any suggestions on what we could do here? Alright, feel free to throw those into the chat or into Discord or something like that. There's a very fun setup you can do with this. Like, I have a specific solution in mind with this level. Although, something I do want to say is that every single level is designed in a way where there's more than one possible solution. Personally, I don't really like it when puzzle games like force like one specific thing that you have to do. I like it when there's a few more options where it feels like I can be clever. And so these levels are all designed with the possibility of multiple approaches in mind. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can always do like a fundamentally different thing, right? In the end, you're still going to have to build a maze, but what kind of maze can really vary a lot depending on how you construct your labyrinth. Anyway, block the entire first lane, so the nightmares coming together so make it easy to turn them together in a maze. So you say we should probably do something like this. We block these 2. Okay, so now they are gonna be going into one of these, right? So the top one will be walking down here through this little section, and the bottom one will walk through this. Oh, actually no, they both walk up here. So the nightmares are better at telling what's the fastest path than me. So they kind of want to walk into the center anyway. Alright, they are already kind of inclined to do that. Well, maybe have a quick look. If we don't do this, then yes, they will just walk sideways. Alright, so maybe something like this. Haha. Thank you very much. So what we do is we block off this path completely, block off these 2, and then have them come in like so, and then so, which means they will have to walk all the way through this. Very clever. Alright, now we do only have 36 walls available, so we need to see if that's possible. So we do something like so. So we need to block this off. Then we want to block off these 2. Very good. Then we come in here. We do it like that. We build from here up here. And then we build from here down here. And look at that. We even have extra walls remaining. Well, let's see if that works out. One of the big things is that you're actually using this gap here, which is very smart, right? That will buy us a lot of additional time in terms of getting down here. And also these kind of patterns are always nice because this is actually quite long for the nightmares because they only walk one tile at a time. But it's not looking like that's actually going to be enough. Very close. We do still have 12 walls remaining. So there is definitely a possibility here, I feel. And, you know, maybe you can just like revise that a little bit. And then we will be fine. Then we can make this happen. Okay. Let me check Discord really quick. See if anybody there has any fun suggestions. Ah! Now this one looks very pretty. Okay, let's see if we can maybe put this into action then. So what we need to do for this is, let me go ahead and get rid of these really quick. So we want to block off this down here. So we go like so. And then we block this off. And then we block off here. Wait, and this goes all the way to the bottom. We block off here and we block off here. Okay. All right. So this makes it so that our top ghost gets in pretty quickly. We're not really so much worried about this nightmare, I think, but this one, ooh, it's getting there. I think the idea is definitely good. We do still have some walls remaining. And yes, that sadly is also not quite enough. Now, I do have to say that these ideas are all very, very good. And but there's something missing right now that I'm kind of hoping that you guys will find. All right. You can save one block by making the diagonal wall on the bottom right one more down. You can build a diagonal from the top to block off the top nightmare and make it go down. Ah, so you want to go back to Wispy's solution. So what we do is we build this diagonal here. Oh, I should actually build a diagonal here because that way we can save a block. That's what we just talked about. Very good, very smart, right? And then we block off these two. And then we have this right here. Which I believe was like so. No, I'm currently getting something wrong. Let me pull up the screenshot again really quickly so I actually have it all proper. You know, it is your solution after all. Alright. So we do it like so here and then come in from below like this. And then go in like so again. Okay. And then what you're saying is we could block this one. I mean, generally speaking, there's actually quite a lot we can do here. Like, we do have just a lot of walls remaining. Right, let me just go ahead and go with something like this for now. The important thing here is that this buys us a lot of time with this particular nightmare. And this nightmare is already all the way down here. So let's see how this plays out, right? Important thing is really that this one now takes much, much longer to make it through. Also, yes, I have a blanket, I have pajamas, I have tea. I'm very comfy. Isn't that what we're here for? And hey, look at that! You did it! Very good, very good. So it was just, you know, the small little correction. That's always something that's a bit tricky. If there's two nightmares, then you need to make sure to keep both of them and their natural positioning in mind. And then we've got another idea here from Ivan Yesta. Ah, very smart. Okay, let's do this one as well. So, with this one, we want to build down here again. Right, and we can actually be a bit more... effective with our tile usage here. And then we can build a bit of a bonus wall here. Look at that. We even have some left over. How fancy is that? Alright, so since some are left over, generally I recommend just kind of, you know, do something like this. Because this just delays this top one a little bit. And let's see if that one works out. Immediately, these guys are a bit closer to each other. But now what we're doing is instead of the monsters getting to walk straight in, they have to walk all the way to the top and then walk down again. This significantly increases the length that they have to go. And yes, in fact, that is also enough. Very nicely done, Chad. Good job, everybody. I think it's time for us to move on into the next level. So, this level is a bit different, as you can see. So, we have access to infinite vaults again. But with this, we need to be a bit more careful with where we place them, because it's very easy to accidentally block something off. Keep in mind, if we do this, then we lose. That's not good. There's also something new. Do you see this? This right here is a good dream. A good dream is different from a nightmare. With nightmares, we don't want the nightmares to reach Alex. If a nightmare makes it to Alex, we lose. A good dream, however, well, now we don't lose. That's good. Now we snooze. Very nice. Wouldn't we prefer snoozing over losing? And we get a little ice cream dream. So, in other words, nightmares, we don't want them to reach Alex. Good dreams, we want to reach Alex. The good dream reaching Alex is not necessary for completion of the level, but it's a bonus objective. And I think it would be fun if we can manage to do so. For now though, for this particular level, I will be satisfied, as long as we just manage to keep the nightmares away from Alex. Alright, we got our first solution coming in. Okay, looking a bit complex, but no problem. Let me go ahead and set that up. So we built down here, very good. We built over here. So now we have isolated these two, they now have to take a much longer path. While the good dream is actually able to get there pretty quickly. So we block this off, very good. And then we build over here. We build this down and then block off here. So we have this kind of like zigzag pattern. Then we can do the same thing over here. Maybe actually I need to leave this open and do like so. So we have built this nice long zigzag around. And then actually we can put one here. Just a little bit of a bonus. Not quite like that. Oh, did I not quite do it right? Oh, no, it's true. Yours is a little bit different. Apologies. Let me go ahead and fix that up. Let me go ahead and fix that up. So we do go down here. This is correct. Wait, no, it's not. Wait, no. Sorry. Let's go with the one I had. Because what I'm just noticing that the way you build it, you're actually building on top of the empty tiles. Wait. Oh my god. Okay, never mind. Let me do this for you. No, I want to do it properly. This is your solution. This is not my solution. Right, let me see if I can figure this out. How I'm supposed to build here. Turns out I was the puzzle all along. Okay, I have this, yeah, and then we have these here. Ah, no, oh yes, oh that was my mistake. Apologies. There we go. Now I got it. I put something in place the wrong way. There we go. Now we've got it. I was wondering what wasn't working there, but yep, we got it under control. There we go. Thank you very much. Alright then, let's see if this works. Now I'm gonna be completely honest, I'm fairly optimistic that this will easily hold off the nightmares. Right? I don't think we need to worry at all about the nightmares getting to Alex. This seems very sturdy. The bigger question is, can the good dream make it? And I don't know about that. Oh! Well, Alex is not gonna have a nightmare, but she also doesn't have a snoozy snooze. Now, what we can of course do is we can just say, okay, let's maybe get rid of this boy. All right, let's maybe get rid of that one. This little wall, maybe that helps already. We'll see, because again, the nightmares are well and far away, so that's really not a big problem here. We don't need to worry so much about it. I wonder if this will be enough. It may or may not be. Oh no, it's still not. So I think what we as long as we just get rid of this right here as well, that should be good enough now. Because the nightmares actually only make it to this point. And this way we're saving all of this, and that should be enough to cover this distance. And do we get a nice comfortable snooze? Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, what a good dream we had. Very good, very good. Well, let's maybe try one more solution. So we have this solution right here. And let me go ahead and give that a go. Select our wall. And then we build down here. Ice cream comes here. Alright, go like that. We build up here and around. And then we block this. Alright, I'm just trying to really make sure that we have everything proper here. This should be open. Ah, here's a fixed version of it. So slight modification of what we just saw, alright? And then we have one opening around here and one opening around here. Alright, let's see if this works out. Very good. Nothing is blocked off. Oh, and look at this quick, clean path for the ice cream. Immediately makes an... Oh, that's a nice, long, comfy ice cream dream. Oh, but the nightmares. Ooh. That was sadly a little too fast for the nightmares as well. They made it. But I did like the idea a lot with just making this direct path for the ice cream dream. Alright then. Let me see if we get another possible solution here. Like if we get an updated version of this. Or maybe we can like update it together. So something that I think is generally really nice, as we said earlier, right, is I like this idea a lot actually. I think this is a really strong concept. But something that works very well is putting the dreams, making the nightmares go in this like zigzag, right? So like this is a very long path that they now have to walk. Very, very long path. In fact, I can make this longer, right? Like I can say, okay, we want you to be walking like this. And we can even make this probably a bit longer. Ah, this is probably fine. Let's see how that goes, right? And we can likely do something very similar here, where we actually have quite a lot of space, right? I think this is a very nice construction here with this fast path in. The only thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that the nightmares don't have the world's easiest time making it over there. Maybe something like this. I don't know if this is going to work, but let's go ahead and see if that makes a difference. Right, like while it is, you know, my game, that doesn't mean I know exactly how every single situation is gonna work out. And I think this is actually not quite good enough. Ah, no. Not quite. Alright then. If we get another solution for this, I will see if we can maybe revisit it. Oh, there's another one. Okay, this is gonna be the last one we do of this level though. So let me have a look at this. Let's see if we can figure this one out. Let me reload this really quick. And in we go. So we have one wall comes here. Then we've got these two going down here. I'm trying to be very precise so I don't make a mistake again. That was a little unfortunate earlier, and I want to make sure that I represent your ideas properly. And then finally this one comes here. This is always very smart, because the nightmares are actually trying to get to Alex's head. So blocking this path here makes it so that they, are a little bit, just a tiny little bit further away from it. Okay, we put this one here. I guess this can probably go here. No. I'm gonna put it as I'm being told. Very good. Got a little zigzag here. That's always great. And then we put this and so and so and so and so. Okay, I think that's it. I think I have it. I can spot some smaller issues with this already. So I don't mean to be rude, right? But like this construction right here doesn't actually do anything. So while this definitely results in the ice cream making it, this also sadly has the nightmare. Oh no. Well, it's an ice cream nightmare. Anyhow, let's move on. Hello! I know, sorry. This must have been startling. What is that guy doing here all of a sudden? Yes, no, it is me. I am interrupting past me to let you know that if you have watched the video up to this point, you probably like Sweet Dreams Alex. You probably enjoy the game, don't you? So maybe it's time to go on Kickstarter and contribute 15 bucks or maybe more. More would be better. If you want to contribute 10,000, that would be great too. I'm not going to stop you. Although Kickstarter might. But anyway, please, if you enjoyed the video up to this point and if you like the game, please go ahead and pitch in. Anyway, back to your regular scheduled program. Let's move on into the next level then. So, for this next one, we're introducing something a bit new. We have a traffic light and a switch. Now, let me show you how these work first. All right? A traffic light can be red or green. When it's red, it basically acts like a wall. So you can see that the nightmare will walk around the traffic light. When it's green, it acts as if there is no wall. The nightmare will walk straight through it. The switch changes the traffic light. There you go. It can also be changed the other way around. So probably have to build it like this so the nightmare does it properly. Alright, so nightmare steps on it, now it's green. Simple, right? So how do you build a level with this? Well, something that's really nice about lights and switches is that you can change where things are going, right? And what, and kind of like change what is the right path. Because the nightmares are always looking for the shortest path. They're always looking for the fastest way to be. And well, the light switches, they change whether or not they let something through or they don't. So, well, let's maybe start out with some quick solutions here. So you see here, this is the first idea. I am not sure if I'm entirely understanding this. Okay. But we have this little zigzag here. As always, I think these are just kind of nice and strong. But something that is important to remember here is we actually don't have access to that many walls. So our resources are a bit restricted. Oops. And we do actually have enough here. So then we put a light switch and this here. Is this what was intended? Alright, let's go ahead and play it then. So you can see that the nightmare will go down here and it will try to get through this. But then it turns this red and it can't get through, and then it will just go through the zigzag up here. And well, it appears that we are probably gonna be making it all the way through. But hey, it was a good start. Hey, Nick, 1509. Thank you so much for the 22 months. Thanks for the Twitch Prime. There's only one light and one switch required to clear this level. And that's all we have for this. Ahaha. So here's another solution. Now this one looks kind of nice. All right, let's have a quick look at this then. So the idea with this one is a bit different. What we do, and this is, you know, smart thinking. So we send the ghost this way first. And then we have a little zigzag down here. Sadly, there's not that many, you know, we don't have that many walls, so this can't be a huge zigzag. But we put our light here and our switch here. And then we make this green. Cool. Now this up here will be the shortest path, right? This is where the dream wants to go, because it's just a straight path to Alex. And as it gets there, it will step on the switch, turning the light red, and now it needs to walk backwards. And it needs to go through this tiny little zigzag right here. All right, nothing too much. But we have wasted a lot of time going in and going back and forth. And is that possibly enough? Oh, wow. So it does still play the animation for being absorbed. But yes, that would count, because just barely on the last second. Now there is, let me go ahead and move this along a little bit here, because there are some trickier levels coming up. But this is actually the right way to go. So just something really simple like this. This may look silly, right? Like, doesn't this look just a tad bit silly? But what this will result in, the nightmare needs to go all the way over here. All the way. Oh, no, but now it's right now. It needs to go all the way back. And now it needs to go all the way over here again. And we get it. So this is how traffic lights and switches work. I think they're fairly straightforward. So let's push this a little bit. Let's have some fun with this. This is a much smaller space. Much smaller space. Which means just building a really long wall is going to be difficult. That's going to be less effective. But we have lights and switches. We have 3 lights and we have 3 switches. We also have something new. We have wire. What is wire? Well, as I showed you earlier, if a monster steps on a switch attached to a light, it will turn the light red or green, depending on what it was before. A wire can do this exact same thing, but over a distance. So you can see the monster steps on it, and then the signal gets sent, and there we go. Important, wires can duplicate signals. So you can see now we have 2 traffic lights attached to 1 switch, and there we go. Very nice. Wires can also be connected with each other. So I can do something like this, which is a little bit silly, doesn't really do very much right there, but it is something that's a possibility. We will get to connecting wires and how to properly use them on a more, in-depth level as we get to it. For this right here, that's not actually needed. This is a fairly straightforward level. It's a little tricky because you can see really the space is not very big. And you also need to keep in mind, we only have 20 walls. So 20 walls is not that much. Right? If we have a quick look, this is what 20 walls are. So really not actually that much. But I promise you it is enough to solve this level. All right then. While chat is figuring this out, I can maybe show you guys some more fun constructions you can do with Via. So with Via is really one of those things where things start being quite interesting, because you can do fun little things like this. And this may not look that crazy, but basically if I attach a switch to this, you can see that it leads to some fun little signals. Again, it's nothing crazy. This doesn't really have any big impact, but it just lets you connect various things. And it's a tool that becomes increasingly more useful as you learn more about it. Can you show 20 volts horizontal? Absolutely. That's 20 volts horizontal. Keep in mind, we do also have lights. So this is how much space we can take up. One switch can only activate a light once. Yes. I think. I don't know. Let's try it out. This may seem a little weird that I don't notice, but you know, it's with games, video games. Sometimes you end up with mechanics that you didn't quite intend. But I'm pretty sure you can only, like in theory, if I do something like this, that sends a really long second signal all the way around. Yes, no, you can only activate a signal once per light. So there you go. See, I do know my own game. Something I really like about video games is that there's just so many things involved in them, right? So many moving pieces always, that there's a lot for you to learn about your own game. I always say that, like, the main thing that you need to do with your own games, you need to learn about it. You need to listen to it, right? You need to figure out what is right for it. Because you may have had the idea, but that doesn't necessarily mean you already know everything that is best. That's just my attitude, you know. Can you show 2 switches in the same network? So if we do 2 switches, they don't impact each other, right? If I do something like this, I can, you know, I can even add in a 3rd switch. Why not? Right? So you can see here that this will, this nightmare will step on it, but this doesn't do anything for the switches. All right then. We have our first submission. Okay. So, let me see if I can decipher this. This is gonna be the green traffic light. This is the red one. Then we have a switch, a switch, a switch, and then we just have a little bit of a wall here. Very good. Let's give this a go then. Let me start out by putting the traffic lights. So we have one here, one here. We make this one green. We build a wall over here as far as we can. And then we build a wall up here as best as we can, and down here as best as we can. Then we have our switches. The first switch comes here, the second switch comes here, and the third switch goes here. And then we have our wire. We connect this wire into this. And yes, wire can be placed underneath walls. We put this here, we put this here, and then we put this last one here. And let's run it. So you can see the nightmare will now be walking all the way up here. It will step on the switch, which will trigger all of this. Oh, actually, these are too close. That's my bad. Let me see if I can maybe place these just a little bit further apart. Because by placing them this close, the wires are kind of interfering with each other, which is not exactly what we're looking to do, right? There we go. No, that's not a problem with your idea. I just, like, placed things a bit too close to each other. Alright, so now this steps on here. This signal will be sent, and now this one is red. The nightmare turns around and it wants to walk all the way over here. Now, I do think there's enough time to actually make it. But as it steps on this, this will become red, and oh no, it gets trapped. But that is, again, because I actually needed to set up these wires a little bit differently. So this is where I'm gonna need to do some interpreting a little bit. But this signal needed to actually go in here, right? So ideally what we want to do is we need to actually move the switch over a little bit, right? We can maybe put the switch here. That should be fine. All right, something like this should be doing the trick. So you can see now this is activated. This one becomes green. The nightmare walks all the way down here. And since the nightmares are always looking for the most direct path, it will be walking over here, steps on this. This becomes red. This becomes green again. It tries to go back over here to step on this, but that's not going to be happening. And there you go. Very good. We have a very similar solution here. So if we want to have a quick look at this as well. I hope this is all making sense. I hope everybody's following along. So for this one, we want to put the traffic light again here. This time we're starting out with the green one. We're going to put the red one here. This one is a bit more efficient with the walls. So we go like so. We pull the walls down here. We build a little bit of a maze going all the way over here. And I think that's pretty much it already. And then we just put a light switch here and a good old wire to connect the two. And now our dream just walks all the way in here. Activates this. There we go. And now it just needs to wander all the way back. The question now is this actually gonna be enough time? And ooh, it's gonna be a bit close, but I don't think it is. So this was actually not quite good enough. Although admittedly, there's a pretty easy fix to this, right? All you needed to do is put another switch here and then connect this wire into here. And by doing so, you just... oh, actually, we then also need to do kind of similar to what we had earlier. We just want to set this, just want to place this stuff a little bit apart from each other to make sure it doesn't interfere. Right, so now we kind of get a very similar construction to what we had a second ago. Where this will just result in both the traffic lights being switched from red to green. And then the monster has to walk all the way around again. And there we go. Very nice. Why is this button not activating the lower light twice? Because each button can only activate a light once. Now these constructions are actually a bit more complicated than what I had in mind. I had something more along this in mind. This is actually more of like the intended solution here. But I don't want this to be too long. Honestly, how long is this already? Oh, we've already been going for 40 minutes. Alright then. Let me go ahead and get to the next level of our little campaign here. So, for this one, we are on this little pattern situation. We have 2 lights and 2 switches, right? 2 lights, 2 switches, 5 walls. That's it. Only 5 of them. And then as much wire as you want. Currently, we are not limiting wire. I want you guys to be able to experiment with it. So this is what we're looking at here. There's one nightmare that comes in from here. And well, actually right now the nightmare wouldn't be able to make it. So let me turn the screen. But you can see the nightmare will just walk straight to Alex. And if we don't do anything, it's actually only 10 steps to make it to Alex. If I'm completely honest, if you manage to solve the previous level, this one should actually not be any more difficult than that. Something I really like about Sweet Dreams Alex is it's just a bit satisfying to build these, you know, like kind of like visually appealing, nice little levels. Is it not pretty? It's kind of nice looking, isn't it? But yes, of course, there's a few things we can already do. So you can see this spot right here only takes up 1 wall to block. So does this, so does this.
Chat.
But
Did
these
you hear
require
about
2.
Twitch Prime?
Hey, Bard with Beard. Thanks for the 14 months, dude. So this right here requires 2 walls. 1 is not actually good enough. And keep in mind, we do only have 5 of them. So this is really not very much. You gotta be very careful. However, with just 5 walls, if we don't use anything else, we can actually, you know, get quite a bit of leverage out of this. You can see this nearly doubled the amount of time needed to get to Alex already. So yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure to really work on this game because it's just so relaxing, you know, something I really like. It's just a cute little thing. It doesn't need to be anything big. There's no fighting, there's no aggression, there's no evil. Yes, of course, we don't want to have nightmares, but you know, nobody's gonna die if they have a nightmare. And I know that may seem like a bit dramatic, but I think there's so many video games out there that are about fighting and being strong and being the most dangerous. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just felt it would be fun to have a little bit of a break from that once in a while, you know? Alright then. So, here's our first solution. Ah, now this one looks quite fun. Actually, oh, there's another one. Very good. So let's see what this is about. We put our 2 walls in here. Very good. Then we have our 2 traffic lights. And I think they're actually placed here and here. We put our 1 switch up at the top and 1 switch at the bottom. And then we have a bunch of wire just going around the place. Very good. I mean, doesn't that look satisfying? Alright then, let's run it. So we've got the nightmare going to the top. Gonna be stepping on this traffic light. Turning that off. And there we go. Now it can go to the bottom. Now, while you can actually use this to stall the nightmares a little bit, you saw the timer plate at the top. You gotta be careful. You don't want this to take too long because this does count towards the failure timer. Alright? Oh, I am actually a little unsure if this is even enough. Oh, just barely. Very tight on that one, but hey, I guess a win is a win. All right. Well, we have some other suggestions, so we're gonna have a look at those as well. So this right here, we are using the walls to block off this area and then creating some loops right here. Oh, I like this one. I think this one is actually very clever. All right, coming in here, let's place you down. Very good. And then 1 traffic light here, 1 traffic light here. We use the 2 switches on opposing sides. And then we do actually need to connect this wire all the way through here. Ooh, this might actually end up being a little... might lead to some interference. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Yeah, one of the problems we're having is that there's not that much space to really place the wire very efficiently. Our fixed version 1 below. Huh? No, so this is kind of like a thing here. You gotta keep in mind what this is doing is it's placing wire in the middle of 2 tiles. That doesn't work. But let's see if this one works, right? I'm not saying it doesn't work. Let's run it. All right, so we have our nightmare chugging along. Oh yes, we could just remove one of the wires, you're right. But this works just fine, don't worry about it. And this is actually way overkill. This is way too much. Look at that. It didn't even finish. It didn't even finish that circle around. It would have done a whole other one. But yes, you're right. So what we could have done here to kind of deal with this interference is we just get rid of one of the wires. That's very, very true. Right, this is definitely, I think, the cleaner way of building this. But this is still a very nice construction. Like, this is very, very good. It's not tight at all. There's lots and lots and lots of time left to clean this out. Smart. Good thinking. Okay then, let's do one more solution. So, I would like to look at this one right here. Because this one is actually using significantly less walls, only using 3 of them. And wouldn't that be interesting if we can limit this to only 3 walls being used? So we put 1 wall here, we put 1 here, and we put 1 here. One wire's in the void, that won't work. Yes, actually, now I'm looking at it. You're right. This wire right here, this isn't going anywhere. So this connection doesn't work because you can't place stuff not on the map. Maybe we can figure out a way to place this properly anyway. So we have the 2 switches here, and then we have our wire. But you can see here, yes, this is where we're encountering the problem, that it's actually not possible to connect this to this light. Right? You can connect it to the switch, but you can't connect it to the light. It's a little unfortunate. But, is there maybe a way to do that by moving some things around? What if we move this up a bit? Would that work? Alright, now this will activate this and then go here. And then what we need to do is we need to actually move this switch here and activate it like this. Now these both activate the other traffic light. And then what we actually sadly have to do is, for this to work properly, we would have to place the other walls. I guess we don't actually. No. Never mind. Sorry, my brain is small and, well, the construction works. I think the wall placement needs some work, but the idea is very solid. Let's move on to the next level. For this one, you have access to infinite everything. Anything you want. But I ask of you, while building this, to build your level with as few resources as possible. That's my request of you. Because the goal with this level is to try and isolate the good dream. As I said before, the good dreams are optional. You don't have to do them. But for this particular level, I would like you to do it. Right? I would like you to make sure the good dream reaches Alex. And the whole point of this level is really just to get you used to the idea of trying to isolate the good dreams out. So try to use everything we have at our disposal to get the good dream to Alex, but not the bad dreams. Alright? So you can see here we have a bunch of lights and we have a bunch of switches and walls. Everything is here. I imagine this one won't take very long. This is going to be a very straightforward one. We just want it to be simple. When can I make my own level? Well, we're gonna need some support on Kickstarter for that first. This game is not ready to be available publicly. So, alright, this is our first idea. I don't think this is this supposed to be... Sorry, Ivan, yesterday. You're kind of losing me here a little. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do with this. X are single tiles. Alright. Buzzing for this game. Can't wait to try my own solutions. Yes, so something... Well, first of all, I'm glad. But the basic idea here is really to make sure that there's always a lot of possible solutions available to you. Right? I think you saw with every level we've done so far, there's always different ways of going about it. And I think that's really interesting, and that's something that I'm always pursuing. Oh, look at this one. I like this one. This is very clever. Okay, let's try this out. So we build this down here. We build this all the way over here. We have our traffic light here. We have our traffic light here. And then we have a switch on the other side of the traffic light. Right? This is kind of what makes this one a bit different from what we've done so far. And then we have a bunch of walls. Right? These walls just go over here and then come down here. So what this will do is you can see, what this will do, as you can see here, the ice cream will go through this and then turn off the light behind itself. And then the bad dreams, then the nightmares will have to go down here. And so they waddle along. Now, something about this solution, it is not very, it's not being careful with resources, right? We're using a lot of walls for this, and it did work, so good job with that. But I wonder if we can come up with something that, you know, uses a little bit less stuff. All right. Now this is kind of on the same scope of stuff, but this would also work. Right? I mean, we just saw this. Actually, it's a bit less. Let me try this. Let me run this as well. Why not? We've got some time, right? So with this one, again, what we do is we build something like this. And then the difference here is we build up and we build down. And that's it. So it is actually less. Then we have a light here, we have a light here, and we have a light here. This one is green. We have a switch here. And then we connect this with wire and this with wire. All right, let's see if this works. So we can see that the ice cream will be walking through here. This will activate this switch, which will turn this green, but also this one green. And this is kind of what confuses me a bit about this solution. Yeah, no. The understanding of how to build the level was there. The maze building skills are still a work in progress. Anyhow, I think we've had some fun with this level. Let's have a look at the last one then. So this is the last level I have prepared for today. And, well, this one is a bit tricky. So, we don't have access to a lot of stuff. We have 10 walls, infinite wire, 5 switches, and 5 lights. Again, there's a good dream here. 2 nightmares, and Alex is down here. It doesn't take very long for the bad dreams, for the nightmares, to reach Alex. Right? It's not a huge level. It's not the smallest one either, but we really don't have access to a lot of resources. So we need to be very careful with what we build here. On top of that, of course, we would like the ice cream. We would like the ice cream to make it to Alex. With this one, I will again say it's not a requirement for the ice cream to get there. But if you can do it, that would be great. It is possible. It is definitely possible. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed our little mini campaign that we have played today. This is pretty much what the game is going to be. It's just going to be a bunch of levels, and each level will be kind of its own little tiny story. So we're going to have tiny little snippets of like, hey, you know, today I did this and all of that. I don't want to go into too much detail how we're going to tell the story. There will be a story and it will be told and it's going to be cute, but I don't want to spoil anything, okay? So just, if I may ask, place some faith in us. It'll be fun. But this is what the gameplay is like, right? It's just gonna be these levels with different stuff. There will be way more different structures in the game. So far we've only been using switches and lights. You can see there's actually another structure that we haven't used at all. I was thinking about using it for this campaign, the one-way street, but I actually decided against it because I wanted to make sure that we stay focused and you guys really have enough time to wrap your mind around, you know, like the switches and the lights and so on. But yeah. Why not just make the ice cream compulsory, Baumi? Well, ice cream is never compulsory. Or is it always compulsory? I guess it depends on who you ask. Well, I think it's just a nice little bonus. I think for some levels it will be compulsory, but not for all of them. I don't know yet. Look, We're still working on this. Maybe it'll end up being compulsory, maybe it won't. For now, it's not. It's like one of those things where I don't want to make the game too difficult. This may seem a little bit strange because it is a puzzle game, right? But I actually don't want Sweet Dreams Alex to be all that difficult, all that hard. Because I think if we make the game too difficult, it will become a little... It'll be a little frustrating to play, and I would like to avoid that if at all possible. I want you to be able to play a level for 5-10 minutes, solve it, and move on to the next one. Because I think the act of having a level solved is very satisfying, right? And of course, they will be, they will be getting more difficult as we go through it, but it will not necessarily be crazy difficult, right? I don't mean to call anyone out, so I'm not going to say any names, but like I've been playing some puzzle games, and sometimes I feel like I reach a level and I've been sitting trying to figure out the solution to this level for 3 days, and it's very frustrating. And I understand that this can be a lot of fun as well, right? And if you like that, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I too enjoy that. But this is not the kind of experience I'm looking for from Sweet Dreams Alex. I want this to be a little bit more, relaxed, chill, something nice. Anyway, let's have a look at our first solution. So, we have some walls being used here. Is this a wall? Is this a wall? This is a wall, right? Okay. So we're using 5 walls down here, and this is not going to be possible. Wall with a wire. Okay. Yeah, we will not be able... Oh, wait, this right here is a red traffic light, right? Okay. So we're using 4 walls down here. We will not be able to build that far into it, so since we only have access to 3 walls. But that's okay. Let's see if we can maybe make this happen anyway. So, we will build ourselves the traffic lights. So traffic lights are here. This is green, this is green, this is green. Then we have our switches. And by our switches... no. This is all right. Very good. And then we have some wire. Not that much of it, just a little bit. All right then. Let's see if that works out. So we have our ice cream going through, and the nice thing is the ice cream turns off the traffic lights behind itself. Then the dreams, the nightmares come in here, activate this, but then they are just kind of waltzing right through. There's a lot of time left to go. I think the idea on how to get the ice cream through this level was very good though. That definitely worked very nicely. So let me see if we have another one. I will do this one, but mostly to show that this doesn't work. No cheating, my friend. No cheating. So here's what we're looking at. So we're putting walls here, 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 and here. Then a traffic light here and a switch here. Ice cream walks through, activates the traffic light, but now this is red. Nothing can move anymore, and you lose the level. Okay then. We have a solution to Ivan Yesta's, well, solution, I guess. All right, let's have a look at that then. We need to rebuild this really quick. Luckily, it's not that big, so we only put down these 3 here. And the big difference this time around is we're using 1 more of our walls to build here. And then we have our traffic lights, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. These are all green. And then our switches. And finally, the wire. All right. Let's see. So, the ice cream still very comfortably makes it through. And then we come in here. Oh, nice. Cool. Well, there's a bit of a journey left, but I'm a little bit worried. Not quite. 6 seconds to go. But we are getting there. We are getting there. Why do you mean being mean to someone just joining the challenge? Well, I'm not trying to be mean. Apologies if it came across that way. I just wanted to show that you can't block things off completely, right? Because that's always the first instinct people have. People always like, just block things off completely. No. No, that's illegal. That's the one thing you're not allowed to do. Alright then. So we're gonna give Ivan Yesta's solution another go. So you move this small wall here. Okay. So this one comes here? Is that it? I guess. I mean, it might buy like a second. I don't think it's 6 seconds. It might even be... yeah, no, it bought 2 seconds. So we're getting there. So can I give you a bit of a secret strategy here, if that's okay? Bit of a hint? Do you know what's a wall? You have one wall remaining actually, if you want to solve it with this solution. There's one more thing you can do. Ah. Alright, another button. So if we put a button here. This is the new proposal. Let's see if this one works out. Now, there might be a small problem. Oh. So close. Alright, I think it's time that we try somebody else's solutions. Because there's actually a lot of them and, you know, I want to make sure that we give everybody a chance. Alright, so this is what we're looking at. Let me go ahead and start deciphering that for you. So we put these here. I mean, it doesn't really matter where exactly these walls go, right? That doesn't make any difference. It's more about the switches and the lights. So we have a switch here. Oh, we're actually using all 5 of them. And we're also using all 5 lights here. That's a little crazy. Alright then. And then we have some wire. Oh, that doesn't work. You can't... This wire back here doesn't do anything. No. So this right here is actually sadly not really... this is not going to work. Oh. No, they're going to block themselves off right here. Yes. This wire sadly doesn't work that way. However, there's actually a way you can make these kind of constructions usable. Right? Which is, sadly, it requires you to kind of get rid of the switch. But what you can do is you can wire it this way around. Right now, they are gonna be switching after being used. However, of course, this means that you kind of have to get rid of one of these switches. Alright then. This, sadly, okay, it's being very optimistic in terms of how many walls we have. But okay, we're gonna just ignore the top walls, I think, and we're gonna build everything else. Alright, let's see if we can build everything else instead of just the top walls. Because this actually looks kind of interesting. I'm curious to see if it works. So we block off here, we block off here, we block off here. This and this. And... okay, we need to block this off completely down here, actually. Alright, and then we have 2 walls remaining, which I guess they come in here. Then, green traffic light. Okay, I'm just gonna do what I'm told. I'm just gonna do exactly as I'm told, you know? That's okay. I'm not sure if this one up there does anything. But That's okay, because I think the rest of this is actually very smart. I think the rest... Oh, you can't build through the bed. Okay, that's not your fault. Let me fix this up. Because really, you should be able to build through the bed. Gotta fix that. Alright, here we go. That should still be fine. Alright, whoop. Up. This one should be green. Alright, let's see if this works. So this is turning all of these red as it's getting there. Very good. The bed landing animation is kind of slow. Oh, the bed landing animation will not be there for every level. Don't worry about it. That's just right now because of some of the stuff we implemented to make the Kickstarter video and so on. Yeah. There we go. Plenty of time left. Look at that. So much spare time. Very good, yes. The reason why I thought this one was kind of funny is because this traffic light up here, this doesn't do anything. This you can just get rid of. This doesn't make any difference. But it is very funny. The rest of this works though. The rest of this is just a great solution, right? So good thinking, very smart. And let's see if this ends up working out. It comes in down here. Very good. And yeah. The top traffic light wasn't needed, but nailed it other than that. Okay then. Well, I think we're gonna have a look at one more possible solution here, right? But I think at this point people have figured out like kind of the general thought process you need to have here. So let's have a look at this one before we are done today. So we build these walls here. And then we have a green traffic light here, a green one here. This seems to be the solution everybody's going for, and that's very much smart. That's definitely a good way of going about it. You know, just a little bit of a tip, but you can kind of build them down here. This still blocks, right? Ghosts can't walk vertically. And, well, there is actually a switch here. And then this comes down here. Well, actually, yeah, I'll build it like this. Doesn't really matter, but oh well. Let me ask you, chat, do you think this is going to work? Just, you know, before we even start this. No? Okay, what do we need to do to stop this from failing? Oh, sweet for you see it? Okay. Last switch is extra. Exactly. This switch, what this does, what this is going to do, it's going to turn the ghosts angry. Because this actually works down here. So this works very well. The ghosts will walk all the way over here. This will activate. This will turn this green. And I think it would actually beat the level. Right? This would actually... Oh no, it wouldn't. It's true. No, that doesn't work. Sorry, we had the same problem earlier where this wire doesn't actually work. It's fine. I'll fix it for you. Here, now it works. Here you go. So, this will turn this one red and then will turn this one green. But the problem is that this switch will then turn this one red, meaning the ghosts don't have anywhere to go anymore. Although I think you win before that anyway. Ah, look at that. You win anyhow. It didn't even end up being a problem. Nice. Very good. All right then. So, that's the end of our little mini campaign. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys liked the game. I very much am looking forward to building all of Sweet Dreams Alex for you. You can see here, this is her little room, but it's just a little bit of a, you know, cute little animation. It's just supposed to be a cute, fun little game. And I think we have some fun mechanics, right? And it's just going to be us playing with those mechanics, experimenting with them, and, well, having a fun time. So yeah, please support us on Kickstarter. That's what you need to do. Frankly speaking, if you like this game, you're gonna have to spend money because we need to eat. That's just how it is. We don't need that much money to make this game happen, but we do need to eat. We do need food money. Food would be great. And sound effects. Sound effects are not cheap. Sound effects cost a lot of money. And if you now ask me, Baumi, why do you have 5,000 euros set aside for sound effects? I've seen other Kickstarters and they had like 500 euros set aside for sound effects. I just want to ask those people, where are they getting this? That's insane. How are you? The sound effects are expensive. This stuff is very expensive. And yes. Anyway, map editor possible? Map editor? Oh, would that be a possibility now? Well, I'm not sure if that's a possibility. Well, let's maybe have a quick look then, huh? I think we can maybe think about whether or not that's a possibility. Here you go. So this is the map editor that already exists, and of course that will be available with the game as well. And you can just like kind of come in here and you can build your little level, right? And it's got like a bunch of fun little tools. You have another portal for a different kind of nightmare. We haven't shown these off yet, but you can put your portals there. You can put your little bed in the corner, and you can decide how much of everything do you want to have available. Free wire. That's how much you get. Infinite wall and free wires. Anyway. But yes, map editor already exists. Anyway. So yeah. Thank you very much for supporting Sweet Dreams, Alex. And I'll see you guys around. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And again, as before, go contribute to the Kickstarter. I mean, for God's sake, if you made it here, if you watched all of that, then it is time. It is time. Alright? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.